sure you
Farmer
volunteered
about
that
friend,
information.
and then you
actually.
did not tell Farmer about friend.
I asked if you know what, guys, we don't need to rehash
It's always the gnome's
things.
fault. It's always the gnome's fault.
There were a lot of knowns in Averston.
Fucking
Nobody
gnomes.
knows.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
This is going great. I feel good about this session. Can we take a clip of that and then when things inevitably go wrong?
Just keep replaying that.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't recording, so we can't clip it.
No!
I could do it again, though.
No problem.
Well, does anybody want to give the recap of what happened last time
Kind of want to
on Moonfall? Can I have everybody roll a d20 for me?
Oh god.
Oh, God.
Last
if I roll
session
high,
was
I have to use the bathroom.
Last session was mostly
Oh.
combat.
Oh,
looks like Alara's gonna do it.
Yep. That's a Nick. That's
What?
a Nick roll.
Ha!
Has to do it.
Ha! That!
There we go.
I like that we
went in order. 1, 2, 3.
And once again, you're ignoring Tidbit, who had 13.
Oh,
No, in mine, look, it goes right in order.
What the actual hell?
Oh, Tidbits is after mine on my screen.
On my
On
It's
my screen,
before.
Tidbit
It's
is
before
first.
on mine.
And
mine goes 1, 2, 3 in order.
Mine,
but on
mine
Nick's
goes
it
1,
13.
13, 2, 3.
This is Tidbit. This
Oh.
is its villain arc, right? This is her origin.
Turns out Tidbit's the big bad in the next campaign.
I mean, you already started the discourse. The poor guy's heart is broken because you gave him a piece of his friend.
It wasn't about he has something to bury now.
Is it actually a piece of his
Not the
friend,
whole
or just a
thing.
random rock she claims is a piece of
Well,
his friend?
so let's go back to that. So at the beginning of the session, we were mid-combat with said friend who had gotten turned into, well, his character card is titled Hatham Gardner, Child of the Crater. So, you know, do with that what you will. But this Dragonborn got transformed into this, and his hawk got absorbed into him, and it was really fucked up shit. It was cool though, and we kicked his ass. And Ulara jumped down in the hole and grabbed a sword, and Helm jumped on top of her, and then Chudley jumped on top of him, and then didn't somebody else jump on top of Helm? I don't remember.
The dog? Oh, that was Chudley.
And then we all got out of the hole, and we all healed up, and we were all done fighting, and there was some investigation of this man's, and some rocks collected from him, because he was crystallized, in a way. Right?
Yeah, turned to stone.
He was like turned into stone and broke away.
That was Rachel. Right, turned to stone in a way. So the stones of this man's was collected. To Draven's point, could have just been a stone off the ground for all we know. But after that, there was some debate as to whether we should stick around or help the farmer or take a long rest. And we settled on long rest, and a few people are going to go help Silas the farmer with his things along the trip of along that way. Grenyor and Helm had a beautiful conversation in which they totally forgot Tidbit was there.
Look.
And then
She was clearly in the middle of it all.
And then Tidbit told Silas that his friend was dead and handed him some pieces of his dead friend.
Not of my own accord. Hold on, let me explain myself.
Meanwhile, back at the tavern. There were some things happening between people that my character wasn't involved in, so I tried not to listen too hard. So maybe I'll just let Ben and Evie talk about that? Question mark, I think it was.
You tried not to listen too hard. What does that even mean, Nicholas? Did you hear it or not? Were you trying to listen or not?
It means he's trying to separate his player knowledge from his character knowledge.
That means
That means I've been giving him shit all week about trying to bring up meta knowledge.
So
All I'm
Nick?
saying is that Blitty and Draben may have had a conversation.
Oh, was it about boys?
that you did not hear.
They may have
Ulara was
conversation.
not present for that conversation.
I think Ulara and Chudley left on first watch. Blitty and Draven had a bit of a conversation. It might have been on the walk to town. Even the two of you were talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
it was as we were heading back.
Okay. Because as we ended, Chudley and Ulara went on watch. Seneca and Draven also stepped out to go on watch, while the other half of the party was making their way back to the tavern, with Blitty, Tolan, and Mirabelle inside of the tavern.
Yes.
Draven actually went in to go, since he is mechanically exhausted, he was going to go sleep and then take last watch.
Okay.
League of Draven.
And
Every
I was
time I
also,
hear his name, I'm sorry, just every time.
I was
Draven. Draven.
making that feather I took off into a quill.
Tolan was writing up a new song. Remember that.
But yeah,
So I guess we'll pick up.
I believe that was the whole recap. I can't really remember much more else happening last week, right?
A little bit of everything. So we're gonna pick up tonight outside of the tavern with Ulara, followed by Chudley and Seneca out on first watch. If there's anything the two, possibly three of you would like to be doing during this time, like how do you spend your hours on watch?
Chudley is sniffing and smelling and listening.
Seneca, where you from?
Oh, I didn't give a name for her village. Let me pull one out of my ass real quick. Hold up.
Around.
Droppington.
Droppington. I like it.
I'm from Crayshore. It's not around anymore. It was a fishing village.
What happened to it?
Political upheaval. People
I
rioting,
remember hearing
buildings
about
burning.
that. I'm from Russ. It's a coastal village just up the coast, but I remember hearing about that, I think. What
Yes, it
oh.
happened rather suddenly. I wasn't there, so I was on a research expedition when I got news.
What are you researching?
It seemed to be perhaps a place of worship. Some old dead god.
Who do you
A lot
worship?
about. Can't say I'm quite the worshipping type.
That's okay. Not everyone has to be. I find fighting to be fun and, brings me closer to Empire in a way. It's hard to explain. It's complicated.
It definitely sounds complicated. I'm a bit befuddled by exactly how devout so many are to Empire. I mean, obviously, look at his glory. But
Hard to
give,
deny
you
the
know,
power and the miracles that you see in front of your own eyes.
Have you seen his miracles?
Yeah. I have witnessed some crazy shit. And I've devoted my life to him. That's why we gotta get this back. She just, like, hefts the great sword on her shoulder.
Does it make you feel any different, the sword?
Like, emotionally or anything?
In
No.
any way?
I mean, I feel strong.
You feel strong?
Well, I mean, yeah, like, I've never wielded a magical weapon before. It's really, you know, it makes you feel powerful, I guess.
I was hoping for a bit more extravagant answer. The sword is truly a mystery of what it is truly capable of.
I don't know. I mean, from all I can tell, it's just a really awesome sword. But it's what we were told to bring back, so that's what we're gonna do.
Hopefully that's the thing to bring back.
Oh, God. Now you have me questioning it. What else could... There was nothing else there.
It's a shame that the Dragonborn's body was mostly destroyed. I wouldn't say destroyed, altered.
Well, hopefully they give us a second chance if we fuck up.
I feel that they'll accept anything that we bring back that was from the Great.
Mirabelle seems to think it's the right thing.
Well, lovely chat. I'll go do like a round around the tavern to make sure nothing's amiss.
Yeah, I'll look over here. Good chatting with you.
Chudley was kind of following.
And she'll start walking off towards this other side.
All right. If there's anything else you guys would like to do, just say the word.
I would like to roll perception for my watch.
It's a little bit closer towards like the end of your watch before you start seeing that wagon start approaching up the road with some disheartened looking faces across its riders. You see Helm, Grignor, and Tidbit there along with Silas and Gus making their way back. The wagon doesn't look as full as you might have anticipated. They were loading his whole homestead into it.
You guys are back sooner than I expected.
Oh, yeah, no, it's just because I had to kind of tell him about his friends, because someone, decided to spill the beans just a little bit early, so, told him, gave him a part of his friend, and that was a huge letdown. Of course, they also didn't realize I was there, so...
Look, all I'm saying is you were standing on the other side of the ass and I couldn't see you. And so, when it's...
Look, you can make up all the excuses you want. At the end of the day, you heard me when I said I'm coming too. I occasionally walked in front of you. I made direct eye contact with you like 10 times. just say that you don't like me. That would have been nice.
How could you
I've
make
been
direct
told
eye
that I
contact when
have.
she's so low to the ground?
Okay, well,
Hey,
I
well,
made
we don't have to go that far.
Well, we don't really have to go far with you because you're just so tiny. We just have to go a little bit.
Look, guys, I just wanted to help him find his stuff. I thought everyone already told him everything that he needed to
No.
know.
No, we didn't. So now I look like the bad guy here. Really, I was just trying to let him down gently and give him something to bury.
Oh, now he can bury rocks. He's going to be much happier now, right, Silas?
Yeah, certainly great to see you, Miss Ulara. I don't suppose you folks have had supper yet. Perhaps I can make my way inside the tavern and whip up something awful nice for you folks.
I think that would be very valorous of you. Thank you. And she's
see
gonna
that?
put her hand on Silas's shoulder, and she's gonna say, "I said a prayer for your friend."
Wow. Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. I'm glad you're coming out the good one here. Go, enjoy your meal.
So glad you
So
go.
glad you can be so
meanwhile-
heroic.
Oh, look at the hero
Are there
walking
any
away.
crows around, Ryan?
Roll a percent. Actually, Helm, I mean, it's late enough at night. They're in season. There's a couple of crows out and about. Not a nefarious number of crows. Not like a maleficent number of crows or anything.
Not like a
But there's a
murder.
couple
Not a
here and
murder.
there.
Good. I'm gonna guiding bolt one of them.
What?
All right. Roll me an attack.
That's good.
Oh, what's a crow's stats in this new edition?
I don't know. 10? Does that hit a
I
crow?
think that's gonna miss.
I don't have the
Come
monster
on, book
manual,
is
so I
gonna
don't know
load
what
faster
crows
than
are.
that webpage will.
What's the stats of the bird?
I do.
This is how I test the rules, guys. You attack birds.
That is miss. Its AC is 12.
Yeah.
Like, so you can calibrate what you're going for.
Fucking bird. I was gonna serve crow for dinner, but apparently we just have to do the metaphorical crow.
Perhaps I can dig into some of my things. Unpack a barrel or two of what we did bring with. After all, I think I did offer it at the very least for y'all saving my life.
Probably
Supper's the
for
least
the
I could
best.
do.
The lighter we travel, the faster we can get back to the city.
For certainly.
I'm gonna go lay down.
Meanwhile, back inside the tavern during this first watch shift, the hearth fire has been stirred up by Mirabelle, who's getting a bit of a comforting warmth spreading through this empty building, with Tolan eased in on the couch nearby as he's whittling away at this petrified feather that he's making into a quill pen, or plucking out its new song.
Yeah.
I believe Blitty and Draben are also in here. Feel free to describe what you're in the midst of doing the first couple of hours that you guys are able to relax in this tavern.
So Blitty's gonna kind of have this sort of strange look on her face, like she's looking at something, but she's not seeing what's right in front of her, while she tries to kind of see through Chudley's eyes and hear through Chudley's ears what he's doing outside of the tavern. And sort of like absent-mindedly with her hands, she's going to be like braiding, pieces of reeds and grass that she's been collecting along the road and turning into a kind of rope or a kind of, basically just braiding it together.
Starting with bracelets, working its way into ropes is
Sure.
the longer you'll fiddle with it.
Yes.
Fantastic. So Blitty's hanging out in a chair, clearly well into her rope making.
I'm into my work. In the words of Charlotte Bronte, I sat and minded my work and was not at all unhappy.
And Drobin, now are there bedrooms like upstairs, or is this just like this is the full thing?
upstairs, there's a couple of bedrooms that haven't been claimed by anybody in the party yet.
Okay, well, Drabin will tiredly make his way upstairs to one of those bedrooms. And instead of like laying down in the bed, he actually just gets out his bedroll and lays it on the floor and sort of starts checking over his things. And from the very bottom of his bedroll, where he's got, it's almost like a sleeping bag, he reaches in and pulls out a small stone that has like a face carved in it. And he sort of holds it for a second and starts rubbing it between his hands. And then he puts it up to his mouth. And he says, "Very dangerous weapon. Found at the site of the MoonFall. Send help. Several needed." And then he puts it back away and settles into sleep.
Back downstairs, Mirabelle, having finished warming up the fire, looks about the room and sees Tolan nearest by, and so goes to sit inside of one of the loungers nearest him. So, tell me, Mr. Tolan, sir, is it? How are you taking all of this goings on?
Very well. It's best not to dwell on things above your pay grade too much, or people start asking questions and wondering why you're snooping around. So we tend to ignore and do our job and walk away as if we haven't seen anything.
She looks almost like hurt by that. She's like, oh, well, I would certainly encourage you to ask questions if you're feeling what you're doing isn't in the right.
Questions.
Is there anything about our mission currently that troubles you? Any questions that have been stirring you deep inside that you would like to get off of your chest?
Other than the existential dread that the moon has been destroyed, and at any moment there's nothing stopping our planet from doing the same thing. Mass calamity. But
You forget, we remain within the protection of Empire's light. And perhaps you'll feel a bit more comfortable once we get ourselves back inside of the thick city of the walls, but it's certainly a spectacle, to be sure, witnessing something like that happening within our own heavens, so close to our own.
The Emperor protects, my dear, of course, but have you ever considered the possibility that this prophecy might be true?
And what prophecy is that?
The one where the stars fall, bringing the end of the Emperor.
Oh, I wouldn't give little things like that even the time of day to worry about them. I'd say they're not worth much more with thought of your mind.
What if someone had told you 6 months ago that the moon would explode and only the Emperor's grace could save you? Would you have said the same thing?
Well, I certainly would have believed that I'd be saved by Empire's grace. But witnessing it would certainly be a whole nother story, for sure. I reckon that there's goings on up above by our celestials, divinities that I would have to presume is far beyond our own pay grade, as you put it. But I think at the very least that beneath the umbrella of Empire, he can shield us from some of the collateral damage that is being wrought from the heavens above. Whatever the case, I think our best chances of surviving whatever's going on is with him close by side.
And I agree with you, which is why I'd like to get this Canum so I can prosper within the Empire's umbrella, as you put it.
I certainly can understand that.
I mean, what's the alternative? Moving to Misthaven?
Don't be absurd. There's no need to talk about such barbarism quite yet. Things aren't that drastic, I would say. Even if the moon is being disturbed.
Would we have heard news of a new king?
Roll me a charisma check.
You cut out. I'm sorry. What kind of check?
Roll me a charisma check.
That was the best Foley I've ever heard. Who came in the door?
I mean, you remember hearing something about a king getting assassinated over there, and the queen stepping up, and the people not being the biggest fans of having a whore step into the empire, into like the equivalent of what Empire's doing over here.
Ugh, they need to get this situation in order with the nobles. Which is why we stay safely under the Empire.
Yes, I do admit, I think I found myself slipping into a life of quite a comfortable luxury under Empire's rule. Certainly, the moon falling from the sky puts a lot of things into perspective for you.
And simple farmhands turning into horrible monsters.
Which is why that even if these things truly rest above our pay grades, I could certainly hope that we can still have some sort of influence over their events nonetheless.
I plan to find the coziest apartment I can and just live the rest of my days there. I don't plan on doing something like this again.
No, certainly not. I could imagine that risking one's life is not often a very sought-after path. Nobody truly sane would consider themselves to be a hero.
Heroes don't exist, my dear. Just people trying to
Hide
survive.
the lovely things of children's stories. But I'm afraid I come from a world of very different realities. Calculated odds, if you will, rather than simply a roll of a dice.
Did your odds calculate into what we ran into on this little story?
I think that our valor system can account for what has happened, yes. It'll certainly send the whole balance of the system off a bit. One could certainly be expected that the marketplace about the Kynum and valor has certainly been disrupted by the events of the moon being so greatly disturbed. Apocalyptic scenarios as they are can send the usual markets a bit of into a frenzy, but I'm sure that things will settle, and the better understanding that we have, I think the more regulated our response can be, and to most properly respond to this situation in the most optimal way for the greatest number of people. And it's about this time that the front doors of the tavern throw open, and some of the movers start making their way back inside.
Oh, Tidbit wasn't with us all along.
Oh, great to see all of you. Welcome back. Please warm yourselves by the fire. Mirabelle even stands up and offers her seat, but moves around over to the side of Toll and continue the conversation.
All right, cupcake.
You steal that man's cupcakes.
Granular's
Just
just like,
walk in eating a cupcake.
Such a gnome thing to do. Fucking gnomes.
Yeah, Granular, she's gonna walk in after eating some rations from her stash, and she's just gonna be like, "Look, Day's been long. Fire sounds nice, but I'm just gonna catch some shut eye. And she's gonna like kind of slowly make her way up the steps and find a bed to plop down in because she has a level of exhaustion and she knows that Ulara will definitely leave without her if she doesn't get her rest.
All right. And about this time, Ulara and Seneca's watch would be wrapping up. And if there's anything else you guys would like to accomplish throughout the night, speak now. Otherwise, I think we can just fast forward to people waking up tomorrow.
Magical sleep, so I'll use that and do my watch. That'll just be how I spend my night.
Take 2 watches
I'm
Tolan's
kind
gonna
of
be
taking one right now with Chudley.
with Chudley while rest. Yeah, that's cool. That's true. As long as there's no combat that breaks out.
Tolan will stay up late writing, but he really won't do a watch. Just at a certain point, he'll just go to bed.
Helm has to manicure his beard before he goes to bed. Other than that, that's all he's got.
Tidbit's writing in her scientific journal about what she saw today. What she
Make sure you put the rock in there.
I'm going to put the rock. Don't worry about it. I'm also going to talk about, how some people just don't, see people that are clearly there and are sometimes rude about it.
Honestly, Tidbit, this is the most conversation we've had on this entire journey, so
I
I am glad that we're having a conversation.
Found out that your favorite color was blue, but okay.
Are you color coding your journal?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Can I be gold?
I'll make you silver. You gotta earn gold.
Ooh, I'll take silver.
Okay.
Draven, who would you like to be on watch with you? For whichever watch you end up, or the last watch.
Yeah, I think for once I get the rest and I'm no longer fatigued, then I think I would probably would have arranged to be on watch with Blitty.
So at this point in time, everybody who does have a point of exhaustion, feel free to uncheck that from your character sheet as the last watch begins.
Can I have taken a long rest or whatever the equivalent of it?
So everybody gets a long rest. No combat in the middle of the night.
He
Unless
doesn't have
Draven's about
stuff.
to kill Blitty.
All right, cool.
No sneaky attacks in the middle of the night, Ryan?
At this point in the night, is everyone kind of found their way upstairs, or is Tidbit, Helm, and everyone else, Seneca, are you guys all sleeping in your chairs?
I think I'm gonna steal one of these loungers here next to the fire pit. I'll just kick my feet up there.
Seneca would have just kicked back in a chair, feet up on the table, just passed out.
Helm's got his giant ass sword right next to him, just in case somebody comes barging in the front door. Because I'll be first one there, Allura.
Well, I mean, I think she's gonna. I was gonna say she's probably gonna sleep right next to you, like just sitting.
Damn.
No,
I want the one closer to the door.
She'll let you have the one closer to the door.
No, I'm 5 feet closer.
Oh, okay.
I'll get to sleep first.
Sleeping down here, Blitty's gonna kind of snap out of it when she there's some sort of internal clock is telling her, oh, I should get up for my watch. she's taken her rest. She doesn't really need it that much, and she sort of looks around, kind of snaps out of the trance she was in, looks around and sees sleeping people, or I guess sleeping members, I'm presuming. And so she's gonna like kind of stand up discreetly and tiptoe out. She's gonna be kind of looking around for Draven. She doesn't see him.
As you start creeping towards the front door, you start hearing some footsteps coming down the stairs. There's Draven coming for his watch.
Draven, surely you should be tiptoeing. Don't wake the others.
I'm not trying to wake the others, but I'm not much for stealth.
I know what you mean. Sometimes I just have the worst luck. As they step out the door, how did you sleep?
And Draven just starts making his first circuit around the building and the town. I slept fine. You spend enough time on a campaign or in the wilds, you learn to take sleep where you can get it.
I'm very lucky in that way. I don't need much sleep. Have you had a chance to think things over a bit? And it seems like you have a plan of what you think we should be doing next.
I do. But keep your eyes peeled.
Well, I was wondering, is there anyone else we should be recruiting to the cause? I do believe Yulara and Helm and Tolan are very much on the side of Empire, but what's your read on some of the others?
I think that perhaps Tidbit may not be as committed. I also think that Seneca seems open to persuasion.
I'd agree with that.
What we need to do now is just keep an eye on things. I've let others know. Others who will help us get this thing away before it makes its way to Empire. Before it becomes just another piece of the machine that oppresses us all. Tomorrow Eve,
I'd agree with that.
as we approach the city, that's when it will happen.
We approach the city. How do you know? How do you know what's going to be there, or who's going to be there in order to help us?
I have friends. Friends who understand what Empire truly means. I have contacted them. You don't need to know how.
Okay, well, perhaps we'll spill that tea on another day, because you're not going to stop me being curious by being so shady about it. Oh goodness, you've definitely piqued my curiosity. However, if you say that they'll be there, I'll trust you.
They'll be there. They've never let me down. Again.
My perception is a 7, FYI.
Are you rolling a perception?
I don't know, just in case we need it. I will say though, I was talking to Tolan and shared a story of how he was wronged by Empire in a very sensitive situation, one involving love. And I wonder if maybe he's persuadable as well. I do think I might try and talk to him 1 or 2 more times just to see if he's absolutely on the side of Empire. He'll say things every once in a while, but he also, I think, hears, he hears another argument from his heart than from his head,
As long as you tell no one that there is anything afoot. Just tell them you're concerned, worried about what might become of this weapon.
Doing, which is just sort of raising questions and, wanting to ask the ethical thing, because I feel like no matter what, that's the right thing to do. And so it, as not arouse Mirabelle's suspicion, I'm looking to frame everything as an ethical argument rather than, an anti-establishment one. And I honestly think it's working. And she did tell me, she'd, wiped my slate clean and I could walk away if ethically I didn't feel I could go all the way back to Empire and deliver the sword. And that's always an out that we could possibly exercise for any of us who don't want to go all the way to Empire with the sword and perhaps give us a way to give distance between us and the rest of everyone else. But that's something we could perhaps talk to her about if we wanted to, but it's an option. I don't know if we'll need it. Especially if, as you say, your friends are reliable and will be what they say they're going to be.
I would greatly advise you not to speak to Mirabelle more than you absolutely must.
Oh,
Those
I
sorts
think
of
that's suspicious. I'm quite friendly. I feel like we'd have a
Speak to
chat or
the
two
others.
every once in a while.
Chat as much as you want. Stay away from her. Those sorts of the servants of the Empire, they are much more devious than you could know.
Respectfully, I think avoiding her would be rather obvious.
Many people are uncomfortable around the servants that are close to Empire.
We've got a good rapport. And I also think I'd rather be closer to her than further away to know if she's starting to get suspicious. I don't know. I feel very confident in this situation. I understand your concern, and I promise I will absolutely exercise subterfuge and caution.
As cautious as you're being right now, I'm afraid you're about to wake them.
Yes, I was afraid we were going to wake them walking out.
Talk to who you must. Just be prepared. I'll give you the signal when it's time.
What is the signal?
If you see me loosen my axe without obvious danger, you'll know.
So when I see you pull a weapon, I suppose that'd be an obvious sign something's wrong.
No. Not when I pull the weapon. When I loosen it. It will be subtle.
From what? Like from where it's attached to your body? Let me see. What have you got going on here? Is this like a strap? Does it go all around your torso?
And he points out that, like, the axe he has is strapped onto his back. There's a leather-bound clasp that holds the axe blade up just behind his head. And to draw it quickly, he has to untie that.
Quite a clever way to carry it around.
Keeps the hands free when there is business to be done.
All right, so that's the signal then, when there's no obvious sign of danger. Hopefully I don't perceive danger where you see none. I have once or twice been frightened out of my wits by the hoot of an owl that I presume to be an enemy. So I'll just be careful about that.
All right, and so with the perception of 17, did I see or hear anything on our watch?
As the late hours creep by a little bit slowly, but just before the sun starts to peek over the horizon, you can't get over this sense that you're just being watched. Whether it's like almost what sounds like whispers coming across on the wind, or spotting strange shadows drifting about in your periphery. you feel this kind of sense of like just something's out there looking in your direction. Tales of shadowy figures lurking about the wilderness here, creatures that seem to blend into the shadows and disappear without a trace. You know, maybe there's more shadowy cultists out there, and who knows what sort of dark magic they're capable of. You never really feel at ease throughout your whole watch. But then the sun crests the horizon, and you lose that feeling. That sense of something keeping an eye on you. And after the sun rises, nothing else happens of note. As one by one, you can start to hear members of your party rousing from inside. They start preparing their things, throwing bundles together. Breakfast is made. Things are packed. The wagon is readied. And before long, everybody's ready to go. And the party's back on the road.
Get intimate with my blade, heretic.
On the road again.
I mean, you know, we could
Can't
stay
wait
one more
down
night
the
just to be
road
safe.
Laura narrows her eyes at you.
Friend, you're more than safe with me.
Don't worry about safety. That bed was awesome. I see why this, clearly doesn't make much money now, but I'm sure at the time it was a hopping place.
You're free to come back once the sword is delivered.
Oh yeah,
Helm
no,
takes his
definitely
cape.
straight on my list.
Takes his
That's
cape,
going to-
makes a bundle on his shoulder. You can sit up there if you want. It's comfortable.
Well, Grignor, if you are interested, and Mirabelle flips through a couple of pages in her binder and begins scribbling out a few notes across the top of it. If you would be interested in perhaps leading one of the treks forward to help with the recovery and rebuilding of Willow Creek, I'm sure that could certainly start earning valor in your favor once your balance has been broken even.
Oh yeah. I'll think about that for sure. Yeah. Yeah,
At the
that
very least, your familiarity with the area and your quick ability to spot something lurking up in the trees or lingering in the shadows would certainly be of use. Keen eyes like that are useful when we come across, especially for scouts and the like.
yeah. I mean, I could see where it would be useful. I just, I'm not really good at like rebuilding things, but oh, hey, hold that thought. And she's gonna kind of like make her distance away from Mirabelle and kind of make it look like she was like inspecting a piece of dirt or something. I thought I saw something. It's gotta. Just gonna walk away from Mirabelle.
Did this call my name? I think.
She takes a few steps behind you, but then decides to give up the chase and closes her pace around Seneca. So tell me, dear, did you sleep all right?
I did. Thank you for asking. Did you?
Well, truth be told, I was tossing and turning for many of the hours, and I feel I didn't get much sleep, and the little that I did get, I certainly wouldn't say of qualities. I feel a bit uneasy about this whole circumstance. Silas just seems so incredibly distraught about everything that has happened. I worry that as a notary, I feel like my own perspective can be taken as less than objective, if that makes any sense. But I truly am trying to be objective in this, but I think Silas needs to hear words of encouragement from somebody who is not directly in the employ of the Empire, if that makes any sense.
And you would like me to do so?
Oh, that would be marvelous. If you wouldn't mind, Seneca. Perhaps just a few words of encouragement is all that he can need.
I shall see what I can do.
Empire's light be with you.
By the way, if, all of this does go well, I could assist in some of the restoration of this poor village.
You would be interested in returning?
Perhaps. Again, if all of this goes well, of course.
She excitedly starts jotting out notes across that same page that she had open for Grignor. And you see visibly that she is scribbling your name up on like the top of the list. Well, that would be marvelous, Miss Stonebender. I look forward to continuing work within the Empire's service with you. Perhaps I would be honored enough to be the notary assigned with the recovery of Willow Creek as well. Perhaps we can continue to work together side by side. Wouldn't that be marvelous?
It would indeed, although I figured from such an unpleasant experience you would not want to return to such a place.
Please, feel free to speak your mind.
Oh, you just seemed rather frightened by all of the, I suppose, dark magic that was happening in the area. Most people would be turned away from it. So
It
the coming
certainly
back
is
isn't as a bad omen.
troubling seeing such widespread use of something so dark. I could only presume the sort of sacrifices that those people, those blood mages and the like, would have to make use of to call upon such dark magics. In order to, as I'm sure you know, as a spellcaster yourself, one familiar with the arcane arts, transmutation of objects is not unusual. Altering the properties inside of one substance and making it become something else. But altering creatures is, well, like a whole science in and of itself. And seeing what this shadowy magic did to that farmer, what it was doing to those cultists, it's already spread further than I would have ever liked in my worst case of scenarios. And seeing it so widely used by so many and how quickly it is having an influence about this area, it is truly concerning for me. Seeing how quick good people are to turn to nefarious acts when exposed to these wicked magics is truly cause for concern, I think.
Out of character, this is a super ironic conversation, Ryan.
Yeah.
Seneca's just nodding along. She has nothing to add.
So the party continues along, and for a few more hours, traversing over these grassy hills, continuing up this dirt path where for hundreds and hundreds of years, the people of the Empire of Averston have safely traveled these roads.
Would I be able to do a perception check? Because I am
Go ahead and roll me that
uneasy.
perception check.
I remember yesterday, since we slept, that I still had the uneasy feeling that we were not going to be that we weren't alone, that there was still someone watching. 21.
It's like a few hours of travel before you start picking up like what looks like a trail of wolf poop somewhere nearby. Like enough that, and recent enough that it's still warm-ish. Recent enough that to cause perhaps concern that there might be wolves nearby in the area, and another 30 to 45 minutes later, as you continue downwind from where you believe the wolves to be headed, before you start hearing a distant howl of some sort of an animal. If anybody would like to roll me a nature check.
Nope.
Seneca Stonebender.
Up ahead, some distance away, you hear a number of wolves, presumably pitched about the same pack, judging from it. Draben, you are familiar with the specific pitches of the dire wolves that accompany some of their tones. There's at least 2 dire wolves in their number. And Seneca and Draben, there's a third pitched howl that is throwing you off. Something harmonious to the other wolves about its pack, but almost more ethereal.
Could I do ethereal? Would it be like an arcana thing, or could I roll an animal handling to see if it's a different animal?
It's a wolf with T-Pain physics on it.
It's got auto tune.
It's got auto tune. Ow.
I don't. Maybe an insight check or animal handling? Sure.
Vibe check. Oh.
You don't recognize those vibes. Those are new vibes.
You could say they're whack vibes.
Well, I mean, as I'm looking around, I see other people notice
Everyone.
it too, but be like, I'd keep Chudley close because those aren't Chudley poops. They're a little bit more wild.
Everyone, I recognize these howls. They're dire wolves. Dire wolves and something else approaching. Be on your guard. Be ready for a fight at a moment's notice.
Oh, good.
I don't
I
know
will
what
say
you're all
with your
worried about.
20 nature checks, you guys are also aware that you guys are continuing to be downwind. So as long as that remains in your favor, you have less to worry about. But if the wind shifts or the road turns too sharply, that might change. So long as this pack maintains its positioning ahead of you guys.
Precisely what I thought. Nothing to worry about.
I'm going to go ahead and take out my maul and just be carrying it.
All right.
Can I devise some sort of a natural concoction of herbs that sort of like acts like a perfume that makes us smell less human or less like party members?
Good luck. You can't contain this musk.
I just start rubbing dirt on everyone.
You can start using like some mud to mask the stronger scented among you.
No,
You can
clay.
start to predator
It
it.
only makes it worse. Brings out the natural beauty within my skin.
How would you guys like to continue?
In a straight line,
Stealthily.
right through the forest.
Cautiously.
Clump together as
Survivally.
target.
Okay, well,
Don't be cowards. Go straight.
continuing along,
First,
this is
kind of
kind of
carving the path.
roughly the vibes of the landscape. Every so often on your trek, you've come across the abandoned campsite of past travelers. Likewise, you come across another one not too long into your travels. Guys, Grignor is already on top of having checked the ashes. They seem cool, like it's from a fire that has long since been sparked up. Continuing about the wolves, about the woods, with wolves on the mind, if you guys would like to, feel free to position yourselves, assuming you are moving northward on this map, around Silas and Gus in the wagon.
Okay.
Don't right click.
And we're all fully healed, right?
Yes, I think everyone should have taken a long rest.
I'm not
So everything's recharged and back to full, I think.
Well, Someone should be guarding this side of us. I'll be kind of walking along the grass, kind of peeping through the grass and around the trees.
Where do you want Chudley?
I will have Chudley on the other side.
Gren, how good is your passive perception? Amanda.
Oh, I thought you said Brian.
No, I said Gran. You
I don't
don't
know
choose
why
names that sound close to Ryan.
My
I did.
passive perception is 16.
I did not hear Ryan.
No, it's fair. Oh my god, that's weird.
All right. So you can hear the can on my waistband. So if you
Just
hear it
like
making an erratic sound, yeah. So that'll be your signal to come back. As if that can goes real crazy.
if it goes crazy. Yeah, Gren, she's sticking to the shadow, like the tree line. She's kind of weaving in and out of the shadows. Like she's trying to be first to kind of scout it a little bit, but she's doing her best to stay on the shady bits.
Gren, as you take cover in that next shady bit, that's when that shadow about 120 feet away from you moves. You see it is already in a low arched prowl. It seems to be lined with a number of bone-like protrusions of spines across this large wolf's back. And it is slowly approaching, and you notice the two shadows on either side of it seem to be creeping along, and it takes your eyes a few moments to adjust before recognizing those are smaller full-grown wolves, but they look small in comparison to this dire wolf.
Oh good. Well, I'm gonna got a bird call that no one talked about, so no one probably understands that it's a signal. But she's gonna let out a bird call. It's super.
Is it a gnome bird?
Realistic. It's like a.
Everybody who hears this bird call, feel free to roll me a nature check or insight.
God damn it! Anyone but you.
Ulara, that sounds like a troubled whistle.
That's a warning
coded
signal.
message.
Everybody be on your guard.
Draven.
Gnomish.
And Draven, that does not sound like a bird that you are familiar with. And Tolan, you are familiar with all the different pitches that the human voice can make, and that is somebody whistling up ahead, trying to get attention.
There's whistling ahead. Someone's trying to get our attention.
Chud, can we kind of move up? Can he see anything? Does he smell wolves ahead?
Roll perception check for Chudley.
All my stats are the same. It's weird.
Yeah. So
Silas, you protect Gus.
Well, yeah, we'll do. I'll stay here. Miss Mirabelle, if you wouldn't mind sticking too close in case Gus gets hurt, I would very much appreciate he get healed up quickly. Certainly, Silas, I can stay here to calm the animal.
Laura, you take point. I'll make sure that these two are safe.
Chudley is picking up on the scent of more wolf. At least, there's like 9 different animals.
Oh, good.
Possibly a 10th.
Perfect. Hashtags around it. I'm just gonna I'm gonna climb a tree and good luck. No.
Deuces.
Helm starts rattling the can vigorously. Bad Gren. Get out of the tree.
Look,
Get down here right now.
let's get moving.
Get down.
Maybe we can find a better, more defensible position.
Well, what if I just talk to them? They're wolves, right? What if I just ask them to please leave us alone because we're very dangerous?
What if they're being attracted by that blade?
They're attracted by my beauty, not the blade.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
interesting questions.
that's a theory that I think is not supported by the evidence.
Grinyor, you see
What was
something
that tidbit? I couldn't
seem
hear
to
you.
pull the shadows from one tree, and almost like for the blink of an eye, these shadows form a wall between two trees, and then it seems to pull that shadow with it to the second tree. Like something is using these shadows to get closer.
Ah, this is the most defensible position. Out in the open.
Good. Knowing that Grenyor, oh no, this is like her worst nightmare is going out into the open. Actually, Grenyor is gonna climb a tree. Yeah, I want to see if I can get a better vantage point. And if there's a tree anywhere around here in this, like, I don't want to go to the tree that they're next to, but I do want to try and climb so I get above them.
All right. Roll me an athletics check to start climbing up this tree.
Hey, what about acrobatics? What if I do a flip?
Anybody else doing anything to prep?
I gotta win.
I've already got my weapon out.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals. It has a range of what? It's on
Self?
myself, but it goes for
10 minutes.
for any distance or whatever. I'm gonna
Yeah, within talking distance.
try and be over here using this tree a little bit as cover, but I'm also going to I'm gonna speak with animals, and I'm going to talk to the animals that are ahead of us and say, hello there, creatures. Normally I'd love to chat and get to know you all, but we're very dangerous, and it would be better if you did not attack. May I suggest that there are other options, food options, down the road? I don't want to have to hurt you. Let's be friends. And I'm going to try and appeal to their cuddly cub side.
Roll me an animal handling or persuasion check.
I'm gonna do.
But it's just a straight roll because you guys smell delicious.
Hey,
Oh, so I don't get.
Of course
my
I
plus-
do.
But you still get the +3, which is not advantage.
let's fucking go. 15's not bad.
15. You speak with animals, so I assume you understand animals?
Yeah.
Let's go. Change layer. Tokens.
Dun, dun,
We are not the
dun.
morsels you are looking for.
Oh,
One of
they're
these
cute.
large wolves with these spine-like thorns of bone protruding out from its back. It stands 10 feet tall. This dire wolf emerges from one of the trees a little bit further left than you might have been anticipating them, as it seems this pack has been circling around to start flanking the party. And he's coming a little bit closer. But it acknowledges you, and you sense it growling back towards you. Everyone else here begins to hear this growling snarl that opens up into a hesitated howl. And those who speak with animals can understand this thing saying that there's a wickedness traveling through these woods.
Ah,
It has chased away much of our meals of late. You smell rather tempting.
Tolan.
What if I left you some victuals of our own behind, and you can have that, and we can be on our way, and we can be on the hunt for the evil thing that is scaring away all your game? Would that be a deal that we could strike?
Tell me. 15 was your animal handling or persuasion?
I did that as a persuasion roll.
As a persuasion roll.
Uh-huh. So it still counts.
All right. Everybody else, as you start hearing this wolf growling and snarling, and Blitty growling and snarling right back at it, and it takes half a step back. What's everybody else doing in these 6 seconds?
as I'm
Look,
Feeling
talking
Mirabelle,
to
she's
my
doing cool
direwolf,
stuff over there.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
I
my hand sort of
tell
out,
him
like
that.
palm toward the rest of the party, trying to like hold you guys back, like with a visual sign. I don't know if any of you can see that because I'm kind of trying to like be by the trees and like use them as cover, but like I'm kind of trying to like signal to you guys, like, hold on, wait, this might be okay.
This might be very interesting. She could get eaten by a direwolf because she's trying to communicate with them. Watch closely.
That's what she's telling us.
She's got this, guys. She's gonna handle 4 velociraptors at once. Helm is just gonna sit there. He is not feel threatened right now with these guys. So
Ulara doesn't do
guys.
animals.
I got a question for you. Since this new version of Roll20 has the ability to put tokens outside of the map layer, could you see if I move tokens to the map to the
I can see
token
their
layer
names.
outside of the
I
map?
can see the
Just
names.
names?
What are their names?
I see wolf.
Oh,
so
right.
if you don't
That's
put
way more
names on the
ominous. That's
tokens, you
cool.
can hide as many things as you want over there.
Oh, well then I guess I can just.
Excuse me.
Oh, look, there's an
Impressive.
ethereal wolf.
Oh shit! But
So
you can see
Blitty
it.
is conversing with this dire wolf and talking the pack down.
Here's a question. So I know that we used that that thing to create our backstories. I can't remember what it's called.
A Life Well Lived by Cubicle
Yeah.
7.
Are we using the quirks that we got from that, or is that just kind of like a flavor thing?
That was a flavor thing.
Ah,
What, do you have a cool quirk that you like? My Hero Academia just awaken and start doing cool shit.
no. Seneca's is animal affinity. She just feels a connection to animals because she grew up around nature and stuff.
Oh, I've been using my quirk this entire time. I'm attractive.
I mean, like, flavor-wise, that absolutely makes sense. Like, I don't think that's like a broken mechanic or anything like that. Like, that sounds excellent.
So could she like tell that the way that the wolves are acting, that they're like hungry type thing?
Seneca, roll me either an animal handling or an insight check. With a yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you can see their rib cage poking out a little bit. Like, things have gotten a little bit scarce in these woods, and this seems to be one of the larger wolf packs about the area. And dire wolves presumably eat a lot more than regular wolves, and knowing there's a couple of dire wolves in this pack could be troublesome. But even more than that sense of hunger that you're getting off of them is fear. Like, they're fleeing from something.
Okay. She'll cautiously kind of step a little closer, no further than like Blitty as is close to them. She's gonna dig out like any dried meat that she can find from her rations and just kind of chuck it over to them.
All
Did you
right.
just say you would give them weed?
Rations.
Oh, I heard weed out of your rations, and I was like, that's a great thing to
Yeah,
give to wolves.
she's actually
Get them
really
high.
against wolves and wants to give
No,
them.
wait.
Here's some
We're gonna
pot
smoke
brownies.
out these
That'll calm them
wolves.
down real quick.
Hey, you wolves cool or what, man?
Hey, man.
Hey guys, you want to toke it up?
Yeah,
Say
bros.
You're a token creature. Sorry, I blew your thunder there, Nick.
It's okay, bro.
Do I see the food get tossed?
Yeah, tosses the food out. The wolf gives a cautious sniff towards it before one of the smaller ones seem to be encouraged. Blitty, you hear the wolf actively, like, through this growl that it gets in the back of its throat, command one of these smaller wolves out to fetch that. And it goes up, grabs the trail rations, and pulls it back up, just stepping back, dragging it behind the dire wolf.
They want flesh. Tidbit. Throw the other half of that person.
What?
I'm gonna I'm gonna tell the pack. See, and this is something we're willing to give away freely, but there's even more in the wagon that we'd be willing to part with. See you through, so that none of you go to bed with empty bellies tonight.
You see it look over its shoulder at something like off that way before looking back at you, then move faster. It starts to growl at you again.
All right, so we have a deal then.
How much and how fast might be the determining factor.
So Blitty's gonna turn back to the rest of the group and say, they're willing to trade some food and let us go. I think we're going to have to pony up quite a bit, though. They're very hungry. And to be honest, there's quite a lot of us, and they'd have a feast in place of us. So let's check the wagon. I'm sure we threw provisions from the tavern into the back. Is there perhaps an entire hog back there?
As Bloody turns around to address the party, you guys see these 3 wolves emerge from the tree line behind her. Just, one of them has this package of in its maw. The other 2 are just openly growling. Like spittle is just dripping off of their maws, and they are looking frighteningly hungry at the lot of you.
Why don't we just offer them the horse?
No.
What
We are
horse?
not
We're
gonna
gonna protect Gus! It's my sworn duty to Empire!
Is it your life or Gus? If we offer them Gus, then they can take the horse, and we can just leave the wagon, and we can just go on foot.
What about the next pack, though? I'm sure
He
there's going to
literally
be more creatures
stayed,
that
make
want
sure he
food.
had his stuff, and now you're trying to get rid of all of his stuff again. You are truly
A hero.
a hero.
Not
If
trying
you-
to be a
if you
hero.
get rid of-
Trying to
if
get
you
this
try to
sword
get
back.
rid of the horse, I'm going to kill you.
Tidbit, you have got to speak up.
Something from the tavern, like a barrel of salt pork or something like that, like that we can just give to them. And then I'm going to turn back to the wolves and I'm going to say, and I'll remind you, I do promise that we might appear small and indefensible, but we are very much going to be a problem for you all. And we would encourage you to take this deal and to treat with us.
Lydia, as you're saying this, you hear Silas, and if Tolan's willing to assist, Tolan, they start producing some of these packs of like dried venison that he had in the burlap, and he starts dragging 1 or 2 of these meat sacks out, and they start rounding about that rock over
God,
beside
you're
Seneca.
so small. Give it to me. I'll carry them.
Helm is welcome to help himself to anything else he loaded up in the wagon.
While they're
Get back to
doing
the
that,
wagon. Start moving.
Can I try and sneak this way a little bit? Oh god. These buttons. This way a little bit more, kind of down the path. Just a wee bit. Make sure make sure there's nothing else coming from the other side.
Sure.
Like eastern area. More so than anything.
Sure thing. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
God, I just saw the names to the east. Jesus. It's so scary when you just have names there. 21.
Great.
Since I can't climb trees, clearly.
I wonder if I can do that. Oh, I can. Grignor, you start making your way around as the party starts dealing with this hungry pack of wolves. You start scooting your way a little bit further to the north, keeping your eye on this part of the pack that you sense is circling around you and then passing past you. Whether they're still circling the party or continue onward, you're not sure of just yet. But that's when you start feeling that rumbling about the dirt road that you're stepping on. And you take pause for a moment as you feel something shift in the ground about 30 feet away from you. Something burrowing, something moving incredibly fast in that dirt. You hear for the briefest of moments, what sounds like the grinding of stone ever so faintly somewhere beneath the earth. But only for that split second. You are aware that it is somewhere in close proximity to you enough that you don't think anyone else in your party heard that sound.
I'm gonna do my bird call again. and she's
Can
gonna
I get
pull out her
everybody to roll
psychic
some
knives,
initiative?
Nice.
daggers. It's like I don't know what to say. I don't know what's happening with those guys, but there's something happening, guys.
Wow. I have a -1 on initiative. How is this even happening? Okay.
What's your dex?
Why can't I roll well on anything
Is
else?
is the ground we're on stone or dirt?
Dirt.
Okay.
Are we rolling initiative?
I can swap initiatives if somebody doesn't want to go first.
Who are we fighting?
We're fighting wolves.
And a tremor in the earth.
Oh. What?
We're fighting an earthquake.
It's gonna be a purple worm.
Oh, we killed a purple worm before.
Why isn't this letting me write 18? There we go.
Somebody else is editing it in that moment.
Why is somebody editing my
Not your number, just the turn order.
Oh, I see. I'm like, why are you? What?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's everybody. All right.
To trade?
Where did you go? Whoa. 13. Everybody feel free to take a break, refill drinks, run to the bathroom. I'll start rolling up initiatives for these different groups.
I got half an hour. I'll be back in a little bit.
Wait, so I'm still a little confused. I'm also a little tipsy. So
you guys
are we fighting for bolts?
You guys were negotiating with the wolves. You are in the process of actively deterring the wolves from hunting you. You were sensing that they were also kind of running from something else before they came across the party. You guys were dragging some more supplies out from the wagon towards the wolves as like a tax to let you pass harmlessly so that they don't eat you, when Grignor sensed something else underground moving.
Ah, okay.
And then everybody in the party heard that whistle a second time. And so that we're going to have everybody roll initiative off of that whistle.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
Why?
Because it's all the way down there. And ooh, that is fun. Plus 0. Grignor. Oh, this is a beautiful initiative order. Grignor, you are first up.
Oh,
Great
I thought we were
question.
taking a break.
Yeah, me too.
I
She
think
will be.
Helm BRB, Draven BRB.
All right, I'm gonna grab one more drink. Need anything?
No, I'm good.
Maybe do the neti pot.
That's uncalled for, Rachel.
It's very much called for.
Oh,
No, that was
I think you're
not
protected.
cool, bro.
No, that was super cool.
Oh man, you know what, Rachel? We should have told them about Magic Circle.
Oh shit, yeah.
What's Magic Circle?
There's a new party game in the Discord activities. It's got like tic-tac-toe. It's got like a spy game. It has what else does it have?
I think that's basically the gist.
It's got one where like it has pictures and someone has to choose a word that describes it, and everybody else has to guess what the picture is. There's like a question one, kind of like 20 questions, except picker chooses the best answer. Kind of like Cards Against Humanity, but more
What
tame.
is happening right now?
Chaos.
Oh god, I'm playing so bad.
Oh, I know. I was trying to
Oh.
film it.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go this way
Can I
now.
put...
Elven Burrows is the
No! I just can't.
This is painful.
This is so hard to watch, you guys. I'm sorry. No!
You have
I'm
30
getting so far from my dreams.
Oh my god!
I like that this is torture for all of us, not just me. This makes me feel better. Whoever made it so that the hole is doing that thing, I hope you're happy.
Oh, are you getting affected by the unlovable? I'm so sorry.
Oh my god. That
I can't. It won't let me into the.
That's
literally
a bug. It's a bug with that power up sometimes.
Like, what do I even do now? Where am I going?
Across the jump.
Okay. Now I think. Whew. Thanks for that, guys. And there we go. If there was ever a time where I was going to definitely. No! Oh, no!
Mm-hmm.
Is it gonna happen again?
No, I think you're
It
good.
shouldn't happen again.
It did.
Maybe. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
it won't let me.
You might have to leave and rejoin, or I could leave and rejoin.
Yeah, there's no way. Even when I do get the right shot, it doesn't. It won't let me. Okay, I can leave. This was fun.
Here, it should be fine now.
Cool.
Nope.
Oh. I believe in you, Evie.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
My book guillotine is ready.
Your book. Oh, okay.
No,
That was interesting. No. Ah! I make normal noises. Don't worry about it.
These are human sounds.
Jeremy, no!
Nice.
Didn't quite get up there the first shot. Oh, get in the hole!
Damn it.
Oh,
I like how
Nick.
no one's in the negatives on this one. What's up?
are you gonna be playing the new Dragon Age?
I'm planning on it. Very much am I planning on it. When does it release? Like at the end of the month, right?
Halloween.
Ooh,
Yeah.
spooky.
No!
Too far. Too far.
Oh, not again.
No, this is gonna happen to me again.
Not again. Not again. Not like this.
Seriously,
Nah, check it. Ha.
this fucking game.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey,
Oh,
look at
wow.
those two divas. Alright, is it time to play?
19, y'all.
Is
I'm
it time to play
practically able to
D&D?
drink.
Let's do some D&D.
All right. So, first up, if she's back.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay, so I am clearly in the most advantageous space here. I'm in the open.
Clearly.
I am a small gnome, and I have nothing magical to do. So, Granyor is going to, in her very, very gnomish fashion, hearing this weird grumbling of dirt monstrosityness in her close vicinity, she's going to double down. She's going to take a really, really, like solid stance, kind of dig her heels into the ground, and she's going to pull out both of her psionic daggers, and she's just going to like bare her teeth ready for whatever it is that's coming her way, realizing that she no longer has the shade of a tree, that she's not about to turn her back to whatever is about to come towards her. So she's going to hold her action until she can see something other than the wolves that we've befriended. I did the bird call. And that is the extent. I didn't yell anything because I also don't know what I saw. I just know that there's something coming. So
All right.
there's just a bird call.
Silas is going to use his turn to keep on dragging this heavy sack out to the wolves, where he'll drop it there, start making his way back. Grignor. It's about that time, that rustling in the bushes that you hear of those wolves that are starting to circle around and flank the party. Something shoots out with a great force from the ground, and for but a split second, you can only see something leap up into the air before you hear it smash through some of the treetops nearby, and an pained howl of several of the wolves as it plunges into them. Can I have Grignor roll me 6d6 plus 8 damage, please?
He's kind of cute.
No, that's what I was just thinking. Does that
he's
set
like-
off my attacks? You said plus 8?
Yes, plus 8. If you'd like to take a shot at it while it's in midair, absolutely.
Absolutely, I would love to. 25.
Ooh, that's going to make my life a little bit easier for those wolves.
Oh no.
No.
Oh,
You said
it went from wolves to
25
question
is gonna
marks.
hit. 25 is going to hit for
think it's just 5 because I wouldn't. Would I just sneak attack? I don't know. It'd be cool if I
Hidden
did.
last round.
I don't think so.
The
As
wolves were
something
my allies
smashes
now,
into
though.
that nearby flank of wolves.
The wolves are
And
my
you don't
allies.
hear those wolves sneaking up anymore, but you do hear that crunching of granite, of the stone moving underfoot. And
That's bad. That's bad.
that's going to be its turn. Blitty,
So, question, because
what's up?
I don't know if it works this way or not. My my psychic blades, when I attack with them, they get the additional one. Since I was holding my action, do I get both of them or do I only get one?
I'll say sure. Fire it off.
As many as you allow.
You guys will need to
Fired
do
and you
damage to
missed.
this
Then you
thing.
fired. Then you missed.
That second dagger arcs
Wolves
upward,
really-
but
really
seems to
freaks me out.
smash across the surface of it, not sticking into its fleshy bits. And with that, Blitty is up.
Can I see what Granuar is fighting?
You saw her throw a dagger at something, and you heard the wolves from somewhere behind you whimper out in pain, and something smashed into the trees.
For all you
Back
know, I'm
over here.
attacking the wolves. Oh god, that's a really bad look for me. I throw a dagger, the wolves howl and whine. Perfect.
Is it an action for me to keep using my speak with animals?
I think now that you've cast the spell, you can just speak freely.
So I'm gonna ask them: what's going on? Is that the evil? Where is it? Tell me where to go.
You hear that snarl again as all of the hairs and those bone spines on its back start to stand up on end. The wolf drops the rations that you guys had dragged out for it, and the 3 of them that you can see take a deep stance as they start backing up. They say, "It's here."
Well, but where? Where do I go? Where is it coming from?
You see, its focus is no longer on you, but in the direction that sound came from.
Okay.
Over there.
All right. I'm going to go to where. Oh gosh. Hold on. Sorry. I need my measuring stick. Okay.
While you're clicking and dragging, you can right click, and that'll do the measuring stick on your token.
No, wait. Right clicking's bad.
What?
My right clicking shoots me off the map every time.
Mine works.
Okay.
I want to go to that square. I'm gonna put my finger on it.
How far? 30 feet? 35 feet?
35 feet.
That square?
That square. And I'm gonna see what I see.
Would you
It's
like to use your
shadowy
action
abyss.
to make a perception check? Or hold it for something else?
I am going to hold, my action until I'm going to I'm gonna hold as soon as I see the creature, I'm gonna mold earth where it is and try and keep it from moving.
All right. Tolan.
Oh, that's not good. So, all right, if it was okay, I wanted Tolan to be sitting in the cart, just like popping his
Absolutely.
head. Okay. Tolan is going to cast invisibility. Let me see here. It is a touch. I'm just gonna like reach out and like pat the back of Gus's rump and just be like, "Oh boy, let's make you invisible. Nothing can see you then." And then I'm gonna make the horse invisible.
Such a dumb thing to
Jeremy,
do.
take
I
a-
love it.
Since the
Take
wagon's
inspiration.
attached to the horse,
Oh,
does it
thank
go
you.
invisible too? Because all of your
I'm going to
belongings
say
are
yes.
invisible too.
I'm going to
It's
say
a
yes.
kestrel.
As Tolan appears to be just levitating where he's sat on the wagon, but Gus and the wagon go invisible.
You'd buy to see the
As
house
long as
fly.
Tolan's got
Maybe even a superfly, but you've never seen a donkey fly.
So Silas just sitting on nothing.
He ain't even
Uh,
there. His shit
Silas-
disappeared.
Tolan's on the wagon, so it looks like he's sitting on nothing.
And
Silas is out here dragging rations from the wagon to try and pay the wolves tax.
I told him to stay with the wagon, but no, he had to be a buff man. Take it
Well,
himself.
he's brought more rations out than you, Helm, so that's one on his scoreboard.
I blame the gnome.
Tolan is just gonna stay in the cart. He can see out now, though, at least.
Oh, it's a covered wagon. Would he not be invisible under the cover of the wagon?
I don't know on this one. I don't know.
Hey, Dad.
I don't know.
gnome did
come
it.
under consideration. You feel free to take the invisible condition currently.
When the
Okay.
land shark comes,
Because
we'll
I think it's a
adapt that.
condition now. Draven Steelguard.
All right, so the wolves haven't done anything aggressive yet. We just heard
The wolves
noises
look-
coming from over here.
Yeah, the wolves no longer look aggressive towards the party, but their focus has been drawn to what's attacked.
All right, Draven's just going to sort of position himself about there. And
Over there.
I'm going to say he's going to ready an action to cast a Ray of Frost if an enemy comes within range.
All right. At the end of your turn, this is going to take a legendary action to burrow its way forward and claw itself up out from the dirt. As everybody about this area sees the ground open up into this empty, stony maw that starts to take large whiffs of the air through the mouth with each. Those with held actions, feel free to take attacks.
Okay. I'm gonna mold earth. I try and keep it rooted to the spot. It says if you target, you can instantly excavate it along the ground or deposit it.
A 10
Okay.
is going to just smash across the front of its chest and going to miss.
I'm going to mold earth for this effect. Hopefully.
Evie, if
Which
I'm going to be
square?
honest, the dude just traveled through the earth. I don't know if Mold Earth is going to work on him.
Or it could be the only thing.
It could be.
Fire,
Hey, I'll
friends.
shut up. I'll shut up. That's fair.
Draw it onto the map.
Oh, the square?
Yeah.
Okay.
Paintbrush?
Okay.
Go rectangle. Rectangle.
You're kicking with my right. Right? Okay, rectangle. I guess this square? Is it standing on that square?
You want it on the square it's standing on?
Like one of its feet. It
Like right
seems
there?
huge. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. As the ground opens up beneath it, dropping this thing prone, it smashes its open maw into the ground, throwing it off balance for a moment.
His one hand is bigger than me. His finger is bigger than me. Jesus.
Oh, no.
I'm not even
Any
an
other held
appetizer.
actions?
Wasn't there one other hell action? Did it already go off?
I think so.
Mine already went off. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Seneca.
Okay. Since Silas is right next to her, I can cast Mage Armor at will, so she's gonna touch him on the shoulder and cast Mage Armor. So he
Oh,
doesn't-
hell yeah.
So he gets an AC of 13 plus his Dexterity modifier.
Oh, heck yes. It's an NPC with 0 dex modifier, but his 4 hit points are all the more grateful for that, certainly.
I'm sure his AC was worse than 13 before.
It was terrible before.
Yeah. And then, oh no. I don't
What
have
does it
any-
look like as Seneca's mage armor shields this guy up? Like, what kind of magic is going on here?
She touches his shoulder, and like from her fingertips, the color of like, I don't know if actually any in this party has been deep into the ocean, but it's that same kind of deep blue color as like when you're far down into the ocean. Every now and then you see like a glint of light, and then it fades into darkness, and it just kind of envelops him and then kind of fades away.
It's like the color of my eyes.
And that's it. I think she's gonna stay put there.
Dire wolves are going to.
Oh, right. She'll motion at the dire wolves to, as in to like, or she'll say to the dire wolves. She'll say it. I don't know if they understand common. She'll say it in Elvish because her perception is that animals could speak maybe Sylvan, and that's close enough. So she'll say in Elvish, if you are too afraid to fight, please run. We do not want you to be hurt.
You see them. The big one snatches up that pack of rations on the floor, and they take off into the woods. Tolan, you start moving yourself back a little bit. You start drifting mule length of movement backwards. As he continues backing up from the loud sounds of this monstrous nightmare emerging, and everyone starts hearing the heeing and hawing of an invisible donkey backing up.
Can I try to reassure him?
Absolutely. Like you start giving him scritches.
Yeah, just it's okay. I know I can cast speak with animals. I don't know if I could have done that before all this went down.
If you were like casting that while inside of the wagon to understand what the wolves were saying, we could say
Yeah.
that happened. What do you want to tell Gus?
Don't worry. You're invisible. He can't see you, and we're gonna take care of him.
You hear it, much like a donkey's hee-hawing. It's just like he is very much like having a panic attack right now. He's invisible. He doesn't know what happened to him. This monster just emerged from the ground, and it's getting closer. And you are just soothing the donkey a little bit. Tidbit.
Okay, so let's see what we got here. I got Earth Tremor. This thing is underground. All right. Oh no, this thing is no longer under the ground, right?
It's been knocked prone onto the ground.
Let me see. Just got to make sure. I thought I had okay. So this is 10 feet, and it is clearly not 10 feet away from me. Wow. I guess I'll cast Entangle on it. Gotta stop it from moving.
That's a strength save from it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's a 14 on its save.
Ooh, it might. Meets it, beats it.
These vines start rooting up around it, wrapping around itself. But just before it can start to pin it, it starts biting and snapping right through all of them, breaking free of the entanglement.
And I can't do anything else. Like, I can't cast a cantrip because I already used a spell.
The effect is still present on the area, though, right? It still leaves the area difficult terrain.
Let me see. To do each creature succeeds a restrained creature, it frees itself, no longer restrained. Yes. 20-foot square.
Then feel free to draw that out onto the map.
Is that a 20-foot square? No.
No, that's bigger.
4 square wide.
4 square, 1.
That should be it.
Yeah, it looks right.
If it's a 10-foot from the center to the side, then it's 20 feet total.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool beans. All right. Anything else you'd like to do?
No. The mule is no longer there, and he was my emotional support mule, because the people in my party are just mean, and they don't listen to me. So I suppose I'll end my turn.
All right. Mirabelle is going to take a few steps towards the closer party members, and she is going to. Oh, let's see if this works. How about
Oh, that's fun.
What
she
was
starts
that?
sending all sorts
Oh,
of
look at
radiant
that.
light
Oh.
showering down and just berating the space where this monster is at. As this holy light shines down.
Oh, I see how you did that.
How did
Uh,
I believe it's the little wand.
Yeah,
Lucas,
effects.
can
Yes.
I have
Yes.
you roll me 8d6 for me?
Holy
I would love to roll you 86.
As a flame strike is dropped down on this monster.
Oh, I'm going to abuse that.
How about 30?
30 is great.
I actually rolled really well on those D6s, y'all. Put me in on Warhammer. I'll be good. Crits
No,
on,
because then I'd fight
hits
you.
on
I don't want to
threes,
fight that.
3
As she
pluses.
starts shouting out all sorts of prayers about the Empire's light, purging this darkness from these lands. As a cloud opens up and heavenly light just radiates all sorts of barrages down on this nightmare. Next up,
Oh.
Ulara.
Helm from the back. You're blinded by the light, bitch. Ha ha.
Okie dokie. Right. All right. Ulara is going to.
Did you by chance like identify that sword overnight? By chance? By chance?
Well, it's what's in her hand, so it's what she's going to use. By chance, by chance.
I just want to know what the stats are because it looked so cool.
I kind of want to make my rolls to Ryan. How do I? Hold on, I gotta switch my settings really quick.
Oh, DM whispers. Ooh.
Wow.
So we can't
That's a
see if you
drama
fail.
queen.
You're colluding.
Because he's too afraid if we go against him, we know we'll have a chance. That's why
All
he's
right, I
fighting for
believe
us.
I have to make the save for this spell, right?
I think so.
It's a
The
strength.
entangling roots. The
Strength.
strength save the first time you enter it? Or yeah.
Nah, woo. Is it when it's cast or when you enter it? I don't know.
You're good either way.
I got a 14, so I meets it, beats it.
Just neat.
And then Ulara is going to swing the Moonlight Greatsword at this thing. I think that hits.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Does anything happen to the sword when she strikes with it?
Oh, that's a
Oh,
great
well,
question.
find out.
And then I'd like to use my bonus action to use my War Priest bonus attack and swing again.
All right.
Think that hits.
26 hits. Damn, all right. Lara starts dishing out some damage.
And that's the end of Ulara's turn.
As this Moonlight Greatsword cleaves across, just ripping a chunk of this thing's arm off of its body, it collapses off into the ground and, much like the farmer before, just shatters into a pile of obsidian-like glass before you. It lets out a groan of agony as this impossibly wide maw opens up again, sending out like a like a shark's mouth, just rows upon rows of teeth. More of them start to emerge, pushing more layers onto the exterior as it screams out in pain. As the blade seems to pull in some of this shadowy ichor from the wound of this monster, and this black crystal-like substance starts to almost crack into the blade. Anything else you would like to do?
That's it. That's all the things.
As there is a discordant howl coming from the north, as stepping through a brief chill into the wind emerges a larger figure adorned by a couple more wolves that emerge, see this nightmare of veins thing that just had its massive arm chopped off as it seems to grow more teeth, and it is going to turn back around and chase after the other wolves, exiting from this combat. Helm the Beautiful.
All right. Helm is going to let's see. Can I make a perception check to see if I can see Tolan inside the wagon now that it's moved?
I think it's an action to perception check something that's invisible. If you want to use your action to perception check Tolan.
Yeah, otherwise Silas isn't going to be able to find his cart.
Sure.
I'll do it. Nope. Don't see shit.
They're gone.
Fucking
Anything else you would
gnomes.
like to do?
Fucking gnomes.
He stole the wagon when nobody was looking, of course.
Your Tolan would do that. Yeah, he'll move up in front of
Dare
Mirabelle. And he will call out to Gren. Gren, get back. Get away from that creature. And that's all that Helm can
don't
do.
want to be next to it.
Well, Gren is up next. As this actually, sorry, it's going to take a legendary action
Ellie,
at the
it
end of
doesn't have
Helm's turn.
to. It's quite all right.
And let's see. Ulara's the only one close enough currently.
That's fair.
So it's going to try and take a bite at Ulara. Or
My AC is 20.
its massive jaws clamp onto you, but it just doesn't have the force behind the bite left in it to punch through this armor.
The faith of my faith in Empire protects me.
Ulara begins to glow a little bit. Helm just ended his turn. Grignor.
That sword's cursed. Grenyor is going to heed Helm's words, and she's going to step back. Oh my god. See? Do you see? Do you see?
Don't see.
It flipped me to the whole part of the map. I'm going to step back here, and I'm going to attack him with the blades. 23, and now I have an ally, as unfortunate as it is, within 5 feet. For 14.
23 hits for 14 damage.
And I get a second attack for 25. And so that'll be a total of 9 on that one.
9 on that one. Hey, Gren, what does it look like?
Yeah. Okay. So she's going to look over to Helm and kind of nod at him, and she's going to pull out these 2 daggers once again, and she's going to throw one as it hits him somewhere in his massive body. He's going to look at her, and she's going to throw the second one, and it's going to hit him right in between the eyes.
And it just sputters to a stop as this black ooze just flows freely from its mouth like an open vein of oil. It just starts to pour out this gross black ichor spilling out of its open mouth, splashing onto the ground around it.
It's like some Princess Mononoke shit. And Gren's gonna take a sigh of relief, but she's still gonna look around her because she doesn't trust anything anymore. And every time something else pops up, so she's gonna use the rest of her turn to look around, even though she's doing more action. She's ready for the next thing to come out.
Right, well,
Because this place be haunted.
With that, we're out of combat.
Did
Ulara's gonna
Did
look
Alara?
over at Grenyor and go, "Nice shot."
did
Gren's gonna
did
ignore
Alara use the sword?
Yes, she swung it twice.
What does his aura look like after she did that? Or her aura, I guess. Or both.
So, slicing a blade into the creature, it drew some of that black ichor into the blade, and the kind of pristine glass surface of the blade now looks like it has a series of cracks in it, like a broken ice, like a not quite yet broken ice cube. It has imperfections throughout, and those cracks throughout the blade are that same black ichory color that are spilling out from this thing's open mouth.
Can I insight check the blackness or the sword? See how it feels.
If you'd like to describe how you're insight checking it.
I'm going to be standing kind of close by. I'm not gonna get super close to Ulara. And I'm just going to say, and I'm gonna be looking at it, and I'm going to be kind of critical, and I'm gonna be looking back and forth between the two. And I'm going to be I'm gonna kind of ask, I'm like, so Ulara, how does the sword feel? How do you feel? And Mr. Sword, if you have any thoughts to impart, I'm willing to listen. I can hear the elements of where you came from in the earth. I know, or in space, I should say. I know that you are made of star stuff, and so are we, and so is this earth. And I can hear the natural timbre of your voice. Tell me, how has this affected you?
Are you talking to to the sword?
Roll me an insight check, Blitty.
I'm talking to both of you. Do you not think you can speak to the earth?
God, did Nick get another talking sword?
I think of it sort of like her people worship the mountains and the trees and rocks and stones and that sort of thing. So it's kind of like how the known rings of power can sing to the mountains.
It's very, very similar kind of vibes. Because the stone inside seems to have changed its material properties since making contact with that monster. And much like the leaves of the elven tree, there seems to be a little bit of just that bright light isn't as bright anymore that's shining from inside of it.
It seems as if whatever combat it's just been through has darkened its qualities. It seems changed. Its material properties have changed. It's no longer the same. Whatever this weapon was when we found it, it's no longer that thing. It's something else.
Somewhere behind you, you hear Mirabelle calling out, "Is everyone all right? Does anyone need any healing?"
I think we're all good. Let's get moving.
Can Tidbit take some of
Gus
the...
ran off too.
Tidbit,
Don't drink this black liquid, okay?
She's not going to drink it. Tidbit is going to put her tongue back in her mouth. She was going to lick it, but she's going to collect more of that dark ichor.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We should take another sample.
Ulara's gonna look around when they point out that Gus is missing, and she's gonna say, "Where's Tolan?"
I'm going to drop concentration.
Oh, there you are.
Hello, all.
And there's the horse. Great, let's get moving. Ulara's gonna step past Blitty, and then she's gonna say to her, whether or not it's changed, it's still gotta go where it's gotta go.
Well, all right, but what do you think of what's going on with the sword?
Ulara's gonna, like, take her hand and just, like, run it along the blade. Does the ichor still, like, run from her?
Like, you can clean the blade off, like wiping the ichor free from the blade, but it's like the mint surface of it has cracks throughout the blade that are infused with some of that same energy. And upon taking hold of the blade, you feel like your devotion is continuing to maintain this blade through at its core. It seems very absorbent of the properties that it is exposed to.
Seems as long as I maintain my faith in Empire, I should be able to maintain the blade.
I mean, what have you? I mean, is it not changed?
It may have dimmed, but it hasn't gone out.
Well, that's true. I worry about the fact that it's so capable of picking up any and everything around it. I think we can all admire Empire's ability to be all-knowing and all-good. But what if those qualities were absorbed by something that was at its core already corrupted? What then?
It's not for me to make that judgment. It's for me to deliver this back.
It is if I'm asking you. You do have opinions and thoughts, do you not?
I have faith in Empire, and this is what I was asked to do.
That's your one thought then, faith in Empire?
I don't understand why you seem to think that somebody who is a war cleric of Empire would have doubt about the mission that they were sent on. Yes, I have faith in Empire, and that faith sustains me through this mission.
I don't see why you don't seem committed to protecting Empire. It seems to me like you want to deliver a bomb on his doorstep simply because he ordered it without knowing what it was.
Empire does not need me to protect him.
Well, I do believe that every safeguarder of any religion or culture has a responsibility to protect it. Isn't that what we do? Isn't that the whole point? To protect your faith.
I'm saying that Empire doesn't need my protection. He knows better than I.
Well, in that case, I'm glad that your faith comforts you. This terrifies me, and I think it would terrify Empire, frankly, if he actually saw it and knew what it was. And I think we'll get a chance to see his reaction when he realizes what a dark entity we've brought into his midst when we get there.
When we get there.
Have you ever wondered if your admirable leader will actually thank you for this? Do you not worry that he won't question why your faith didn't tell you this was the wrong path? If a believer doesn't see the signs put in his path, isn't he ignoring the very materialism of his faith?
I think we're doing the
Or
right
not
thing
that,
by
that's not
bringing
the
it
right
back.
word. The manifestation of faith, that's what I meant to say. All right, well, I'm so glad that we could come to that agreement.
If anyone could protect us from whatever corruption or power might lay within this Blade Empire, is the person or to do that.
Question then as well. Are you the best person to be wielding it then? You've already tainted it by your actions, have you not?
The blade is fine, and we will return home. And she's gonna continue
That's
on
not
up the
exactly
path.
what I asked. That's not exactly what I asked, though, is it?
Let's move this caravan along. We spent too much time here.
Soon we were walking and talking.
Yeah, everybody kind of like, after gathering their collection samples, surveying the area, and get moving again.
Well, then let's move along.
I will once again walk ahead of the party and keeping my guard incredibly even more high now. There's some even more weird shit happening, you know, teleporting wolves, ground monsters.
And before long, you guys find yourselves closing in on the outskirts of the familiar cityscape line of Averston, just across the way. The sun is starting to set in the distant horizon, close enough that you guys will make it there probably by sunset, if a little bit sooner. There's the plethora of buildings. People are becoming a more and more common sight along your travels.
Hello. Oh,
Hello.
Hi.
I've been wondering why. I've been asking to do something. I'm like, okay. I'm sorry, Ryan.
Just we're ignoring you, Tidbit.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm so sorry, Ryan, but could Tidbit have done something back when we were walking?
Sure. What you thinking?
Could Tidbit have like found a seed of some sort and poured some of the ichor on it to see what the seed does?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea.
All right.
Tidbit.
I mean, maybe around the time that you were describing the back of the wagon.
Either a nature or a medicine check.
A nature check. Even though I'm not proficient in it. That's an 11.
An 11.
You're not proficient, and you got a +7.
That's insane.
Wait, no, you'd have to be proficient. Because otherwise you'd have to have like a 24
Are you a druid
intellect.
with 5 intelligence?
No, 16.
Yeah,
Did you take expertise in intelligence?
No.
How are you not proficient?
That's not possible.
You have to be proficient with it.
I really
We found out she's cheating.
don't know. I followed what D&D Beyond did, and I didn't mess with anything. I swear to God.
Okay, then you're perfect. I trust you wholeheartedly.
Thank
So,
you.
with an 11, you pour some of this shadowy ichor across this seed and observe it for a few moments. It seems as though the seed absorbs this viscous fluid, and as it flows over it, what emerges is devoid of color.
Oh, cool.
It's almost like a filter has been put just across the seed. And you watch as these black hairs start to push out from the surface. And they continue pushing out ever sharper and sharper, like thorns on a cactus.
Oh, cool. She's gonna put that right back in its flask.
As you start pouring that back into its flask, you hear the cracking sound of the seed starting to split.
Uh, is the seed in the flask? Oh no.
You tell me.
Yes, it is. It's in the flask. She closed it.
Yes.
Oh god.
So you've
She's
got
kind of
a seed in a flask.
she's kind of panicking right now. Is it continuing to grow or did it stop?
It's in a flask.
Now you have a monster
Every
in
so
a
often,
flask.
you feel like the slightest thump of something moving from the inside, but it's like slow, more like a soft brush of the side of it than like a thump.
All right. Well, that's a problem for another day.
Sure.
I don't like how you said sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan,
As
what's
the
happening
party
to the seed?
closes in on the nearby town.
Are we in the city of Averston? Or still?
You're like outside of the city walls where like some of the old kind of ramshackle shacks have grown into long-standing establishments. It has become a bit of a city of its own outside of the walls, and this is where you guys find yourselves. You can just start to make out the hustle and bustle of the familiar sights of the city, recognizing some of the familiar warm colors of the tapestries proudly on display in all of Empire's Light. And you can just start to make out that tower standing proudly in the middle of the city where your destination lies. And you know it's but a couple more hours till the completion of your journey, should you continue along this trodden path, when the audible sounds of music emanating from a nearby market seems to call your attention in the direction of the nearest entrance of the city gate. By continuing along this road, you will pass through this market square where there are a number of items available for you guys to pick up anything that you are needing or the like.
Ulara's gonna take her cloak off and wrap it around the sword and keep carrying it.
All right. With the sword concealed, as you guys are continuing through, those on the lookout start to feel familiar glimpses, and like people in the distance are pointing, and you can start to occasionally hear cheers and applause as some people are starting to recognize you guys passing this way and that.
Oh, I don't like being. How do they? Why? Rainier's gonna look back to Mirabelle.
Well, it
What's
seems as
Maribel
though
doing?
word has already gotten out about your endeavors on behalf of Empire.
Cool.
One
Did
could,
it put the flask down? No.
I could certainly assure you that I believe everyone has been displayed in a most favorable light thus far. As she nods and just kind of like happily, joyfully squeezes at her journal.
Oh, that as wonderful as it is to be recognized for, our work for Empire, could it not also be dangerous? Would someone not be motivated to share our location, with anyone really? Should we maybe pass through quite quickly, or is this someplace we want to linger?
We can throw hoods up and continue to make ourselves scarce before too much recognition is shed.
Do you think that ship has sailed, so to speak?
Well,
I'm
I see
familiar
no...
with some of these streets.
Personally,
Not
I'm not ashamed to walk proudly in the light of the Empire. I'm certain that we are safe here, and we are just outside of the city's walls.
Oh, Mirabelle, I think only of completing the task. I simply just don't want word getting out to the wrong parties, you understand?
And
Who do you-
Drubbin turns around and looks at the group. I recognize some of the folk here. We don't want to be seen with them. Come, I know these streets. This way. And he takes the a turning to the left that takes us off the main street we're on.
Does that still lead to the gate to go into the city?
No, we go straight. Come
Kind of
on.
like a alternate route, but yes, in the same direction.
I think
We
Ulara
are the
would take the
chosen of
shortest
Empire.
distance to that gate.
Straight to the Empire. Come on.
No, you know, Ilara, it just makes perfect sense. You know, we have someone who knows this area of town saying we don't want to go that way, but no, keep stomping ahead. That's what you're good at.
Ooh.
Sure is. Let's fucking go.
It's not like we're
doing this together or anything. I forgot it's a one-man show. You did it all on
Helm
your own.
is pushing people out of the way so that way Allura can move at a decent pace. We're going through the crowd.
There's not so much a crowd like around you guys.
Variable throng of people.
are
Whatever.
like there are occasional people, and sometimes one or two of those faces might be whispering, confused with a point at the party, but it's not like everybody's throwing a celebration for you guys' return or anything like that.
Yeah. Let's take main streets straight to the capital. We got to get this task done, right, Allura?
For certainly.
I'll lockstep with Allura and start marching
Summer,
down the rounds.
For drama's sake, I think that's going to have to be an allowed thing.
Okay, I can do that.
But yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I would like to do something real quick then. I have this fun thing
Absolutely.
called Awakened Mind, and I can telepathically communicate with one person that is 30 feet away from me for up to 3 minutes, and then after I use this thing, they can be within a mile from me, and I can still communicate with them. And I'd like to use that on Blitty.
Ooh.
And she's
Yes, dear.
going to telepathically say to Blitty, okay, you should not outwardly react because other people will find it suspicious. But if you have a plan to make sure that this sword does not get to Empire, I suggest you do it now, or I will take things into my own hands.
No. Draven has loosened his axe and he's gone here to the left, and I do believe we should follow. That was the signal for something to happen. He has people here to help. But we need to follow. I feel like we can't let you, Laura, get too far ahead, and I almost feel like we should be flanking, but I'm not really sure. And so I'm just going to follow Draven, I think, if you want to come with us. Here to the left. And be ready. If you have any actions or anything that you can prepare, that would be probably ideal. I know I'm going to Mold Earth as soon as I can, on the most ideal target as soon as I get the signal from him that something's going to happen.
As everybody's continuing forward along the same path, you come across a sort of, it's like there's a well present in the middle of this sort of square cul-de-sac kind of a thing, where there's a gathering of houses and farms circling up around this well that seems to be a central focal point. As Draben starts to drift a little bit further to the left than the intended path that it seems Ulara and Helm are taking along the main road to the right, and there's a busker's music evident coming from somewhere nearby, echoing across some of the buildings. The occasional chatter just on the other side of other buildings as other people are continuing about their day, and every casual sets. Like it's a normal cityscape here.
I don't know if it was said because I know the party's kind of splitting right now. I would have followed Ulara and Helm because at the end of the day, I want to make sure I get to Emperor and get my stuff marked off or whatever. So I'm sticking with Mirabelle and them. Unfortunately.
Yeah, you chose the winning side,
I hate
Amanda.
Ulara. I hate Ulara so much. I am not here for her. I'm just like, God damn this bitch. She just doesn't fucking listen to anyone.
Just hear
like,
that can just ringing out in the daytime.
Dude, like Brenna is just bitching this whole time. Like, no, let's just follow this bimbo up here because she can't take her hands off this fucking sword, and she knows everything. I forgot she did it. Like this, she's just nonstop talking shit about Ulara as they're walking.
This is the best. If you see a reason to, do your own thing, maybe go for it. I feel like everyone should have known that Mirabelle was ready to wipe my slate clean, and I didn't even have to go back at all, and that more of us should have been able to get that deal. Like, that should have been a broadly distributed option.
Helm like to talk to Mirabelle.
Helm didn't want the deal. Helm wants to stay in service to Empire.
Well, great, good for you, Helm.
It doesn't make you not in service. It just clears your name, so you don't technically.
He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want his name clear. He wants a purpose, and that's what
a lone individual stands in the middle of the forked path in front of Ulara, just a little bit ahead of you guys. He seems to be standing there, leaning up against the signpost that clearly points out the direction towards the city gate. Right behind him, he's smoking a pipe adorned in a number of animal skins, and his attention draws upwards upon seeing this group approaching. Greetings, friends. I don't suppose you have much time for the game of chance.
I do not. Move out the way, bitch.
Well,
you can't just call people that. I know you are one, but like you can't just go around calling. I'm sorry. She really is full of herself, and she thinks she's the only one that exists in this world.
Laura, feel free to roll me an intimidation and/or persuasion check.
Can I aid by just being a giant next to Laura and be like,
Mirabelle, I hope that you wrote that down, and so whenever this happens, that's exactly it.
He seems a little bit like thrown back by that for a half a second, and like it throws him off that he doesn't really know what to say as you guys continue approaching towards him.
She doesn't engage with him further. She just is going to move past the man.
All right. You're continuing to approach this man up the street, and you can hear that the music of a busker getting a little bit closer as you guys are continuing. And he doesn't seem to be too far off from this guy. And I can just bloom pion to here.
Can I make an arcana check on the music?
Sure thing. Anything in particular you're looking for?
If it's magical music or just merriment playing. Listening out for a bard, I guess. I don't know if that's...
I mean, you recognize the song he's playing. It doesn't flow with any arcane intent, but it doesn't mean a caster capable of casting musical spells wouldn't be able to use such an instrument as their own arcane focus.
Okay. I'm also sitting in the cart.
Bye, you, Laura.
How close are we to the city walls?
Like just a few 100 feet out.
Oh, we dare.
Okay. Seneca. So I am able to. Oh wait. Yes. Okay. So this is an illusion spell. So I am able to cast it without a verbal or somatic component. I'd like to forego the verbal. She is going to cast Phantasmal Force, and she's going to put that fun little 10-foot cube right where Helm and Alara are.
All right. If you want to draw that out.
Paintbrush, rectangle, what is it? 10 feet. Is that a 2x2? Is that right?
I think so.
Right there.
Is Allura a human or elf?
She's a high elf.
Damn.
Of course.
So let's see. Okay. I need them to make me an intelligence saving throw, please.
Helm,
Oh, you know what, let me cast it for you guys so you can read it.
Helm, you have advantage on this save.
Why do I have advantage on this save?
Because you do.
Cool.
Seems sus.
12.
I think that means we both succeed.
So do you not have to make a save?
Oh, I did. I whispered it to
His
Ryan.
rolls are private to Ryan at the moment.
Wow.
Because of the sword.
Oh, let me read this real quick.
What the fuck was this that you just shot at us?
Phantasmal Force.
Phantasmal Force. It's an illusion
I
spell.
recognize that voice anywhere, Allura.
Actually, I took out the verbal component because I can't.
That shit.
It's called
we don't know who cast it.
what's it called? It's called psychic
Oh, wait.
spell.
Didn't you go left?
No, I stuck with the party.
I'm messing with you.
Slightly
She's not
left. Draven's right there.
Slightly left.
I don't think they take any.
Tidbit went left, but no one asked or saw.
Tidbit is a rogue agent. I don't know where Tidbit stands on the scales.
Because no one asks her.
I don't ask.
My list is pro Empire, so I'm like freaking
Oh
shocked
my
right
God.
now.
I love Tidbit is going to be the villain of the campaign because they're in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No one asks her. No
So-
one knows what she's thinking. Sorry,
It's always
Summer.
the quiet student.
Oh shit,
that's the
Tidbit's here.
troublemaker.
It doesn't say anything. Oh, if the check succeeds, the target realizes that the phantasm is an illusion and the spell ends.
Yeah. I've seen illusions my whole life.
I was gonna conjure him. I don't know how big Hatham was, but like our size Hatham, just kind of in front of them to kind of spook them. Obviously, it didn't work.
When a spell is cast and Helm resist it, he'll look to Allura. Get to Empire. Immediately. We're under attack. And
She
he'll
will
run
nod
defensive
and
behind
spring
Allura.
into action.
Yeah, great sword out, and he's gonna take a defensive position behind Allura.
And I think we could pick up next time by rolling initiative.
Do we want to roll initiative now or next?
Oh man!
It's you and me, Nick, against the world.
I don't want to wait another week.
Yeah. Can we go a little longer? We still got half an hour.
Or you
I gotta
know,
call it.
This is why
Tidbit.
initiatives
Oh,
happen.
Ben.
Tidbit is here.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about Tidbit.
I thought we were gonna get to the main campaign next week. Damn it.
I mean, this
I
isn't
mean,
the
I'm
main campaign.
definitely going to make another character.
Me too.
You don't want to be an asshole?
Oh, do I want to annoy
we're
all of
so
my
dead.
friends
We're
forever?
so dead.
No.
2v6? Yeah, we're dead.
Well, we don't know about Tidbit.
Tidbit is a wild card, but that's
Tolan
still...
could be on our side.
Look,
I didn't say
Tolan-
like you guys. I just find you annoying.
You know, I'd completely forgotten about Tidbit.
Oh shit. No, Tolan's just gonna quietly go up to Mirabelle and Graynor and be like, it's probably a good idea to just leave. And then he's just gonna walk away.
That's probably the smartest thing to do.
He moves to Misthaven and joins fucking the other gnome.
Oh no,
there.
he's gonna make sure Mirabelle gets out. He wants that Canem off. The weapon has
Yep.
nothing to do with the Canem,
Callum?
but her going
Callum. Yeah, that's the word.
Callum.
Kind
Canem.
Callum. Kydum.
Calories
Oh my
good,
god!
Simon is
He changed
bad.
his name.
All right, so I want to get rid of these calories.
All the bad calories have to go.
Oh, well, not
That's-
everybody.
Good
Nice.
night,
Night,
Ben.
Ben.
Night,
So,
Ben.
what are we playing next week?
We're playing this, and we're gonna fucking PvP, Rachel. That's what we're doing. We're PvPing, and you have to choose sides.
No, you don't.
Well,
There's
no
a third
one's
option.
asked me to choose sides.
You haven't given me the opportunity. I am very attractive.
She was
and
there. You
persuasive.
ignored her in the wagon.
I know. And then people were like, "Oh man, let's talk to Tidbit." No one talked to Tidbit, and I'm just here like I'm here
I
too.
tried. You know what? I think
That
your mic cut
happened-
out. I don't think you were talking to me.
I
In our
meant to
defense,
talk
we
to
did
Graynor
ignore
and
you
Tidbit,
after.
and I just didn't get time.
You,
Graynor
were,
and
you know what?
Tidbit.
You were
guys on my
tongue-tied for
list.
that whole session. I don't know what happened.
Everyone forgets about Tidbit.
It is about Tidbit. Tidbit is the balancing factor.
What if Tidbit is the BBEG?
You know what?
What if
Okay.
Tidbit is Empire in disguise? What the?
Oh shit!
This
It was
is
all
how
a test.
Tidbit becomes a villain.
I'm
I was
she's
kind to
about
Tidbit.
be.
That's all I'm gonna say.
She has this magical growing seed that she's stowed away and she doesn't know what it does. And honestly, she's about ready to put it into someone's food.
I'm gonna take
Tolan-
the.
Just
I'm gonna
made a
take the
nightmare
GIF.
experiment.
I'm gonna take the gift from Evie. It's Homelander's son. Is that the seed that you're carrying? The new Superman of this campaign.
Yes.
What if it's like Little Shop of Horrors?
Oh, feed me, Seymour.
Feed me, Tidbit.
Feed me tidbit. Just a tidbit.
I like to
I like
just
to
need a
imagine
tidbit
that
more.
this is the starting point for the magical flask. That this was the first monster it contained.
Eventually sucked up Agrimar. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that same flask. Like I feel
Oh
like
my
it's just-
god. Tidbit is the celestial creature that was in the bottle.
It was all a goddamn test to see if you could recognize one. And you didn't. You keep ignoring Tidbit.
Not good at investigation, perception, or insight. So
Or
I'm
talking
sorry.
to people.
No, I talented with 12 in charisma. I'm not good at talking to people.
No one remembers Tidbit.
I love Tidbit. I
Then
just
what is your
don't always
should be
remember that you're there.
DMS.
No,
one
that's
put
fair.
Tidbit
I
in the
have been
corner.
I have been quiet during this
A
campaign.
little quiet, little quiet, little quiet.
I
If
just
Tidbit
would
ever wants to go pick mushrooms, I'm
Tell you
down.
what, I can't wait to hit Blitley with my great sword as hard as I fucking can.
let's do it now.
She's a snake in the grass.
What's stopping us?
You
What's
don't need
stopping
to
us from seeing
whatever,
Tidbit's
you
true
guys.
colors?
You guys are making these
Anybody got
assumptions
advantage?
based on meta knowledge.
Yo, in,
Oh, I rolled
in
two
my
4s.
head, it came from one of the two people ahead of us. Like that's where Laura's
There's
at.
a lot of heads that are gonna roll in the next couple sessions.
No,
I have
Civilians
trained
left and
speed.
right.
All it just needs is dirt.
why should I get cleaved into? I feel like if anything, outwardly,
We're all
I
working
should be-
together.
I should
You're
be
the
most.
only one that's actively sowing dissent.
That's probably
amongst
my
the
That's
party.
not necessarily true. I'm more like the president of the ethics committee that nobody wants to invite to the dinner party.
Screw ethics.
Wait,
This is
are
for
you
the
Toby?
empire.
Are you
That's
Toby
politics.
from The Office?
Oh my
Toby from
god,
The
I'm HR.
Heresy. Off with their
I
head.
love that comparison, and I will take that hatred, but I don't necessarily think that you can say that I'm sowing the seeds of discord because I'm just asking questions, y'all.
Well,
I'm
You and the
sowing
dwarf.
seeds.
Oh my god. You
I'm
guys are
throwing
your
is sowing
machinations.
But no one realizes that because no one asked Tidbit what they're doing. What if licking strange
You know what?
stuff is
Tidbit
her?
doesn't also
is her
want to talk to
primary
people.
talent?
literally
Like
sowing seeds of shadow.
You know what? Actually, screw it, Ryan.
Don't lick
Tidbit
it.
eats the seed. Write that down.
No, you already said I get 10 gold for it.
It's
No,
it's honestly a really great analogy for the Empire. They're more obsessed about like people asking questions than actual chaos happening right beneath their noses.
Yeah,
Lord, fuck it.
questions
Actually,
are
that sounds pretty
dangerous.
good.
But Bloody's been asking questions, but she's been asking too many of the right questions. You got to play a Seneca, be the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Or be the idiot like Tidbit.
I think there's an aboleth that's
idiot.
causing
Wait.
trouble in this area.
Must
that's
be an
causing people to
aboleth.
ask questions.
Probably an illithid.
And maybe a Dilithid. There's too many brain things going on, and Helm is not having brain things going on. That's for sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's too
Tidbit.
beautiful for that.
He's too
What if
beautiful.
you drop
for
the
that shit.
evil goo into the well here and we just destroy the entire
That would
empire?
be so evil.
Oh my god.
That would be
I will
bad.
not let this empire
I would not
fall
let that
because of
happen.
you assholes. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Remember how much
I-
trauma a poison well caused last campaign, and this campaign you're going to be the ones wanting to poison the well.
I say this from the bottom of my heart.
Oh my god,
Everyone
two
for the
party members. Two party members were like, we're not going to be around this for much longer.
Full circle.
Yeah,
From
no,
the bottom of
Tolan's
my
going
heart.
home.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play a different character, so whatever happens, happens.
100% Nick.
Laura should be the poster child for the resistance. She should be the person that everyone's like, and this is why Empire needs to fall. People like you, Laura. That should be like the best convincing
But
tactic for
she's
everybody.
so cool.
Pretty cool.
God, even Alora's gotten ahead of me. God, nobody remembers Helm the Beautiful.
The next character I'd
Rachel,
like
I can't tell you how happy that makes me.
What? What?
Are you actually eating the
Do
seed?
we not get to know?
Tidbit's
We
doing
don't
weird
even know
druid
there's
shit.
Well, betrayal.
my next character, if it makes you feel better, is someone who's super loyal to the Empire and then starts questioning everything.
A
and
little
then
too
falls.
late, Jeremy. A little too late.
Well,
I thought we
This
were
could
doing
be-
more Brian stuff.
There might not be an empire anymore, Jeremy, because of your
destroyed it.
decisions.
Bro, he stopped the moon. It's fine. He can deal with some level 3 people.
That's what
The level-
Agrabah thought, and then somebody shut off the whole planet. That shit happens.
Oh yeah, shit. Oh my god, yeah, it looks like
There is. What is that fucker's name? You got it, Rachel. What is it? Atriox, Herald of the Great Worm, Keeper of Portals, Opener of Ways, and Lord of Dragons, the one who shuts off the planet from all the multiverse.
No, honestly, I forgot what I was going to say halfway through, Lucas. I was hoping like that pause would allow me to correct course and to, stabilize the plane, but it didn't. So it didn't land
It didn't work. It didn't work. But there's people that do that.
Wait, but are we done in the Empire or are we coming back here?
We don't know until shit happens.
I think we got one more session of this.
I am
Oh,
eating that
if-
Resolve what
fucking
happens with the sword.
Fuck it.
If the
Tidbit
sword
is
gets the
a god.
Empire, it's one. If the sword doesn't get the Empire, it's a different. Oh, we gotta choose your own adventure, guys.
Tidbit is a mad scientist. Tidbit will
Oh,
choose. to go.
Draven's super reliable friends are nowhere to be found yet. This is great.
I honestly think the most chaotic.
They're
way is
obviously
giving the sword
standing
to Empire.
right in front of me. These are obviously Draven's friends.
Hey, quick question.
And they're going to get cut by a giant fucking sword, or two of them.
Is it okay if I eat the seed? Would that derail anything? Is that just
Let's do
too
it.
chaotic?
Just do it.
Can I?
Do it.
Can I
Fucking
eat
do
the
it.
seed? No, I
I thought your
think
jaw already unhinged and you
I
did.
already unhinged it, but I just want to make sure everyone's
When you
cool with
were
it.
told you no,
Okay,
Actually,
well,
you
no,
specifically said don't
Yeah.
eat the goo.
no, but
Rachel.
legit, yes.
My
Rachel,
new
come
character
on.
needs you to do that. Can you do
Kermit
that? Can you eat the
die
seed,
for
please?
a reason.
Okay, but legitimately, is it okay if Tidbit eats the seed? I don't want to derail anything.
You have a
Rachel,
precedence
I
for
love
eating
you
weird
if you eat
shit.
the seed.
Okay, I'm going to eat the seed.
I don't like
You-
it. The
you
DM
weird
likes
Hey,
it.
My
we're still
favorite.
recording, okay? This is still like.
I'm still recording.
Do it.
I'm not your favorite.
Do it.
I see how it is.
Do it.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, if things are happening, then things are happening, right?
Right.
There's a lot of things going on.
She's gonna eat. If Blitty is going to go ahead and, or not Blitty, sorry, if Tidbit is going to go ahead and eat to drink from
That's
her
not helping
flask,
her.
She's
You
going to
have
eat
to
the
have
seed.
your own
Dig it
name.
out. Eat it. See what happens. She's her back is turned. She's a mad scientist. She has a hypothesis. If
I love the
eat this
picture you
seed-
have for her too. She's a mad
So good.
scientist. She's just got this big smile.
Yeah, I would like to imagine slightly unhinged and occasionally like, no, sorry, don't worry about it. Kind of like the cockroach from Monsters versus Aliens. That's her whole
I
vibe.
love him.
I love dude.
But yes, she unhinges her jaw like she with like a dirty finger. She's her back is turned, and she's going to take out that weird looking seed, and she's just gonna like look at it and go, "My hypothesis is that I'll be turned into a monster, but I'll be fine." And she'll eat it.
So Rachel, I want
Yeah.
you to roll me a. Would you like a D4 or a D6 for the number of rounds that Tidbit has left?
Which is more
Quick
chaotic.
death? Quick death?
Which is
D4?
more
Did you
chaotic.
just commit suicide? Oh
Yeah, fuck it.
Herbicide is what I think is the term.
Yes,
What
the
happens-
the absolute most tension there could possibly be.
Oh, 6 rounds until you're dead.
Is it?
Damn.
Are we sure that she'll die? Yeah, she's
Or
gonna
will she
die.
turn into something else?
100%. I
She's
think a
gonna
lot
turn
of people are
into a
going to
weird
die. real
creature.
quick.
I think she's gonna
How-
become like a monster, like the
How
weird
many-
thing.
Remember
How many
Silas's
people will I take
friend?
with me, Ryan? I want to at least take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to at least take 8 people with
I'm on
me.
that list for sure.
I think Tidbit
Whoa.
will become Tiny Beard and be an ent.
Tidbit, you are certainly welcome to try at the top of next week.
No.
If we can get a little bit of a preview into what's about to happen to Tidbit as we fade back to the party darting across these ruinous mountains back around this campground as this dark elf of this shaded Mirabelle, her gaze shifts with a bit of a much darker tone as she remembers from the inky blackness of the shadows that monstrous figure which stepped out of his shadowy concealment, revealing his true form. It's serpentine, its body elongated and sinuous, his form shifting and twisting like that of a phantom, his eyes two burning embers in the darkness, piercing through the gore of that girl. His hair billowing madly, writhing like twisted snakes. In his hands, a colossal war horn, its surface etched with runes that glue with an eerie otherworldly light. The horn was so much larger than the man himself, and its mouthpiece wide enough to swallow a man whole.
Oh,
It's
that's my adorable.
Oh my god, I'm so
my God.
excited!
Wait, what is that?
That's Thravash. You guys always forget about it.
Thravash.
Tidbit
That's
of
Thravash?
information.
I'm turning
She's
into
doing the next
Thravash?
week. She's the same. This
No,
thing's coming out.
you drank
in
you
6 hours.
drank the
Wait,
blood
so
of
a
the
creature-
tree.
What does that
Excited.
mean? What does that mean? Wait, hold
That's
on.
the Golthos tree. Is that what
Wait,
that is?
wait.
That's the guy
Hold-
that helped Nari in hell, quote unquote.
Yeah,
help
yeah, this is a
Oh.
vampire guy.
Oh
with-
my
with
god,
the-
did I just
He's
turn
the
into
guy that
a
was
vampire?
trapped beneath the foot, and Nari let him out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you guys
And he
all
just
forgot to
used
mention him
Tidbit
several
as
times
a
I brought him
blood
up.
portal to step into this area.
Oh my
I
god!
thought we were done with
He's a
this dude. I
portal.
thght we killed all the remnants. Oh no!
Oh, so
Okay, this is
it
happening
He
is
survived
Him.
in
that's
every
actually
end.
pretty sad. We're all
He's
talking
never
at the
would
same
have no matter how
time.
many times I brought him up. You guys are always like,
Fucking
"Who's
druids.
Thravash?"
Rachel, how could you eat it? Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
No one's paying attention to Tidbit. What else was Tidbit going to do? No one
Also-
told her no.
Go
Weird
down in
shit.
history, I assure you.
Tidbit's a mad scientist. Want to know why she's in the black? Because she was
Yeah, she's
practicing
in the
evil
black
things.
for sure. That's right.
Ah!
Oh my
Ah!
gosh.
You know,
Poison
honestly,
seed.
I'm-
Every
I'm-
single time I felt ignored by the party.
He's running.
None of my characters would live past a day, dude. Oh my god.
And when you
Well-
eat an object
Tura's lived a long
by
time.
Thravosh's magic, that has been actively transmuting the number of items and beasts that he himself is transfiguring.
We have to we have to destroy the
Really
world,
interesting.
guys. We can't. We have to suicide the
Beautiful
world.
information.
Oh my
We
god.
don't know that.
We can't let the whole
Sacrifice.
planet survive at this point.
You know what?
It's perfect because this party will know as much as the last party knew about Thravash. Because
Nothing.
no one wanted to learn about
I'm gonna
him.
go sit up. Good night, guys.
Well,
Good night, everybody.
good night.
No.
No,
Oh my God.
if people were paying